What's happening guys, it's Abhinav from Phone Bunch and this is our review of the Vivo V3, a powerful smartphone in a very small package. Now this is one of the first Vivo smartphones that we are reviewing on Phone Bunch and it's actually quite impressive. Now get a 5-inch HD display here, Snapdragon 616, 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of onboard storage. So it is a sort of mid-range device. Now you do get a micro SD card slot to expand storage, noise cancellation mic and 3.5 audio jack up top. On the right of the device you have the power lock and unlock button as well as the volume rocker. Both are sturdy and they do offer good feedback. Now this phone is made out of metal and plastic. The construction is really solid here. It actually feels very good to hold in hand. At the bottom of the phone you'll find the speaker, which is decently loud. You also have the micro USB port as well as the primary microphone. On the left you have the 2 SIM card slots, so this is a dual SIM 4G LTE cable smartphone with VoLTE support, and you have separate SIM card slots and a separate micro SD card slot. Moving to the back, you have a 13 megapixel camera, LED flash and the fingerprint sensor, which actually works out very well. Now as I was saying, this phone has a metal unibody construction. It is available in gold color and actually looks very premium. Now priced at around Rs 17,000, you really want excellent build quality at least on the device, and there is where this phone really delivers. And the fingerprint sensor, as I was saying, is really fast and it is very accurate. Now coming to the front, you have an 8 megapixel camera, proximity and light sensors, and there is a notification LED there too. You can see that Vivo branding up top. And if we come to the bottom of the display, you have capacitive buttons which sadly don't light up. Now this phone has a 5-inch 720p HD panel. It actually looks quite decent. The viewing angles are quite wide, color reproduction is good as well, and it is visible outdoors too in direct sunlight. Which now brings me to network and call quality, where we didn't have any issues. The speakerphone was loud, the earpiece is loud as well, and yes, noise cancellation did work out quite good. You have dual band Wi-Fi support as well, which is always appreciated, and even GPS did work out quite fine for the most part. And you have all the sensors that you would require, your gyroscope, magnetic field sensor. Everything is present on this device. Now you have a 13 megapixel rear camera here. You can adjust exposure manually, lock focus on a particular subject. Camera interface actually is pretty good. You have some filters baked into. It's quite intuitive and easy to use. Now you also have a manual mode baked in, which offers you a lot of control, including shutter speed and exposure control. Now you can see some of the image samples that were taken with the rear camera. These actually look quite good. Yes, the images do turn out slightly oversaturated, I would say, but for the most part, in good lighting, this camera performs well. But when you come indoors or when the lighting isn't really that great, that is where this camera does struggle quite a bit. Images turn out quite grainy, it hunts for focus for quite long, and even in videos this camera does hunt for focus. But there too, the quality is quite decent. So overall, this is quite a decent camera. The front-facing camera also takes decent selfies. Now audio quality has been the hallmark for Vivo smartphones, and the Vivo V3 doesn't disappoint there. The speakerphone here is quite loud, it is clear and it doesn't sound tinny. You get a very basic headset within the box. These do sound quite alright, and if you invest in a good pair of headphones, you really won't regret it. The sound quality through the headphone jack is really top notch. You have FM radio available as well, which works out really good. We tried playing several video formats and everything played out well. There was no lag, frame drop, anything in playing videos, no stutter there either. Now even in terms of general performance, this phone does work out quite well. Now sadly you do have Android 5.1 running on the device, and this is quite a different take on Android. Vivo's Fun Touch OS is quite a lot different than what you get with other smartphones. But yes, you do have theme support baked in. You can always install a different launcher. You don't have the traditional quick toggles up top. For that you need to swipe from the bottom. So it's quite iOS-like in its appearance. That did bother me a little bit. But at least it gets the job done. It is accessible through any app, so you don't have to manually go to home screen and only then access it. You also have double tap to wake up, and well, if you use the fingerprint sensor, you really won't need that because it is quite fast. Now at present I don't have any confirmation on when this phone would be upgraded to Android Marshmallow, but even on Android 5.1 this phone does perform quite well. But I would like to see an update to the newest version of Android at least. Now this phone comes with 32 gigs of storage, out of which you'll get about 24 odd gigs when you get the device. That's actually quite sound because you have a separate micro SD card slot, and well, the USB OTG is also supported. Now out of the 3 gigs of RAM, we had about 2 odd gigs available when there were not many apps running in the background. So RAM management is actually very good on this device. You can see web browsing also worked out great, pinch to zoom worked out well too. The display has good touch response as well. And as I was saying, memory management is very good on the device. After opening so many apps, Chrome was still kept in memory. So overall, this phone does punch above its weight when it comes to performance. That's why I actually called it powerful. Even with an older chipset like the 616, it's able to churn out a lot more power. Yes, 3 gigs of RAM definitely helps in that aspect. Even gaming was fun on this device. Now coming to accessories, you do get a TPU silicone cover within the box. It actually looks quite good, and being a first party case, you have all the right cutouts for everything. But yes, it is going to get dirty very quickly. Now here are the final points. This phone feels great to hold in hand. It is very light, it is superbly well built, has a sharp and crisp display, good audio quality, decent cameras. But there's one thing, battery life is really not the best here. Now it's better than average definitely. I was able to get somewhere around 4 to 4.5 hours of screen on time, and at the end of the day I did have to charge this phone. So overall, that's the only major con of this device, and then there's the pricing. At Rs 17,000, there are a lot more options available in the market. Online. Offline, there are really not that many phones, and well, very few that come with a 5-inch display. So there is definitely a place for the Vivo V3, but I just wish it was priced somewhere around Rs 15,000. Thanks for watching this video folks. If you liked it, do hit that thumbs up button, do subscribe to the channel, and as always, have a great day.